Hi, welcome to my channel if you're new, welcome back if you're a subscriber. Today I'm going to be sharing 11 new thriller releases this month that I'm really excited for. But before we get into the video, I do want to say that it has felt like forever since I've done a sit-down video, and I've just been so busy these past couple weeks. So I am going to be posting more frequently starting now. I have a few more videos that are already planned out that will be coming out this week that I'm really excited for. One of which is my favorite plot twist of all time. So stay tuned for all of that, but I did want to put this one out first since we are a little bit into April already and some of these have come out already. But some of the ones that sound the most interesting to me are actually at the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned until the very end. But without further ado, let's get into it. So the first book I want to talk about is The Shadow House by Anna Downs, and this came out on April 4th. Alex is a single mother of two, and she's determined to give her and her children a fresh start. She wants to escape her troubled past, so she seeks refuge in a rural community, and this community is called Pine Ridge. Pine Ridge is surrounded by forest, it's very secluded and isolated, and the community seems very welcoming. But she starts to suspect that she may have disturbed some secrets in her new house. But a bizarre chain of events are set off that seem eerily familiar to those who have lived there for years. Soon she realizes that she's in danger and she has to try to protect her family, and the only way she can do this is confronting the shadows that lurk in this community. So I was looking at the Goodreads reviews on this one, and I was seeing people saying that there are creepy dolls, which is something I'm very drawn to. Not actually in real life, I would never want creepy dolls, but I mean in books, it just sounds very creepy and atmospheric, and so I was drawn to this one. And also the description for this one is sort of vague, and I noticed that a lot of times when descriptions are more vague, I like the books better because I don't know too much going into the book. I've noticed that sometimes in descriptions, some things that don't even happen until sometimes the halfway point in books are revealed right away, and I don't like that because then they don't have as much of an impact when you're reading it. So I wanted to start off with this one because it looks really interesting to me. Burn Down, Rise Up by Vincent Tirado came out on May 3rd, and this one is marketed as Stranger Things meets a sapphic horror Get Out. For over a year, the Bronx has been plagued with sudden disappearances that no one can explain. 16-year-old Raquel has tried to ignore this because she knows that police only look for white kids. When her crush Charlize's cousin goes missing though, she decides to get involved and help Charlize try to figure out what happened to her cousin. Soon, they learn that everything is tied to a terrifying urban legend. And this urban legend is called the Echo Game. And this game is rumored to trap people underneath the city in a sinister world. If they want to save the city and everyone who they love, they have to confront this evil and play the game to destroy it or die trying. So I definitely see the Stranger Things influence in this one, and I really enjoyed Stranger Things, especially seasons 1 and 2. I didn't really like the third season, but this one really grabbed my attention. Hollow Fires by Samira Ahmed came out on May 3rd as well. Safia Mirza dreams of becoming a journalist, and one thing she's learned as editor of her school newspaper is that a journalist's job is to find the facts and not let personal biases affect the story. But all that changes the day she finds the body of a murdered boy. Jawad Ali was 14 years old when he built a cosplay jetpack that a teacher mistook for a bomb. A jetpack that got him arrested, labeled a terrorist, and eventually killed. But he's more than a dead body and more than Bomb Boy. He was a person with a life worth remembering. Driven by Jawad's haunting voice guiding her throughout her investigation, Safia seeks to tell the whole truth about the murdered boy and those who killed him because of their hate-based beliefs. So this one looks like another really interesting YA book. Another book that came out on the 5th is Very Bad People, and this one is by Kit Frick. So this one is a dark academic YA book. 6 years ago, Calliope's mother drove a van into a lake with her 3 daughters. The girls escaped, but their mother drowned. But the truth behind what really happened still remains a mystery, and she is determined to solve what really happened. Calliope is now 16 years old, and she transfers to the elite boarding school that her mother attended. Once she is at the school, she joins Haunt and Rail, an exclusive secret society that fights for social justice. Haunt and Rail commit to exposing dangerous people on campus. but it soon becomes clear that some members view justice differently than others. As the society's tactics escalate, Calliope discovers a link between this society and what happened to her mother. I really love books that lean into this dark academic atmosphere. I actually read an arc of a book that was recently released called My Dearest Darkest, and this is by Kayla Cottingham, and it is a YA dark academia sapphic horror book, and I really enjoyed it, so I want to recommend that one as well. But this one caught my eye and I wanted to mention it. Alright, so moving on to April 12th, Insomnia by Sarah Pinborough is coming out. And I actually still haven't read Behind Her Eyes by this author. I know it's sort of divisive because the twist is totally out there, but I do still really want to read that one, and this one looks very cool as well. I love the cover, the colors, the tones are amazing in this. So this one is about Emma, and she loves her life. She has a perfect lawyer husband and 2 beautiful children. It wasn't always so perfect though. When she was 5 years old, she and her sister actually were sent into the foster care system because of a horrific incident with her mother. Emma's sister remembers a time when their mother was a normal, loving, caring mother, but Emma does not remember her mother as anything other than a monster. And this monster actually emerged around her 40th birthday, and now Emma is approaching her 40th birthday. And she desperately wants to keep her amazing life separate from her dark past. Now though, she's unable to sleep and she's losing track of time, which were actually the first symptoms her mother showed. Is she beginning to lose her mind, and could she end up hurting her family? So Queen of Tiles by Hanna Alkaf is coming out on April 19th. When Najwa Bakri walks into her first Scrabble competition since her best friend's death, it's with the intention to heal and move on with her life. Perhaps it wasn't the best idea to choose the very same competition where said best friend, Trina Lowe, died. It might be even though Najwa's trying to change, she's not ready to give up Trina just yet. But the same can't be said for all the other competitors. With Trina, the Scrabble queen herself, gone, the throne is empty, and her friends are eager to be the next reigning champion. All's fair in love and Scrabble, but all bets are off when Trina's formerly inactive Instagram starts posting again, with cryptic messages suggesting that maybe Trina's death wasn't as straightforward as everyone thought, and maybe someone at the competition had something to do with it. As secrets are revealed and the true colors of her friends are shown, it's up to Najwa to find out who's behind these mysterious posts, not just to save Trina's memory, but to save herself. So I love this whole cryptic messages thing that is used in books. It's such a great trope and I really enjoy it, so I wanted to add this one to the list. Alright, so this next one sounds really unnerving, and I'm really excited to share it with all of you. Watch Out for Her by Sarah M. Bailey is coming out on the 26th. Sarah has a 6-year-old son and she has recently moved across the country. She wants to leave the past behind, especially their old babysitter Holly, that she and her husband hired to take care of their son last summer. It started off well, but Sarah kept a very close eye on Holly. What she saw raised some questions not only about who Holly was, but what she was hiding. One day she saw something that was truly shocking, and she immediately had to flee. Now she's in a new city with her husband, and they've moved into a really nice suburb. But soon she finds hidden cameras at her house. And she starts to wonder, has the past caught up to her? Or worse yet, who is watching her now? So as soon as I heard the premise that there are cameras in her house, just like imagining finding hidden cameras in my house is so terrifying. And also just what did she see? What made her flee across the country immediately? So this one sounded really intriguing. So another book that's coming out on the 26th is An Honest Lie by Tarryn Fisher. And I will say I read The Wives by Tarryn Fisher. I really didn't like it. I just did not like the last plot twist. But this one seems like it has a really interesting premise. So even if it is sort of similar to her last book, I really do still want to read it. I didn't read her book that she released last year. But anyway, I wanted to give you all that information first. Rainey lives at the top of Tiger Mountain, which is remote and a perfect sanctuary for her new life. She wants to hide from the disturbing past that she wants to forget. Rainey reluctantly agrees to a girls' weekend in Vegas, though. And after a wild night, her friend Braith doesn't return back to the hotel room. Rainey gets a message from Braith's phone, and it is clear that someone has her. Rainey knows who they really want is her, though, and she knows why. So once again, the plot synopsis sounds really interesting, and this cover is beautiful. I kind of just want to own it for the cover, to be honest, but I think I'll pick this one up maybe during Spring Fling-a-ween. Another book coming out on the 26th is The Housemaid. And this is by Freida McFadden. A housemaid who desperately wants to start fresh starts working for the Winchesters, so she can pretend to be whoever she wants. But soon she realizes that the Winchesters' secrets are far more dangerous than her own. She tries to ignore how Nina makes a mess just to watch her clean it up, or how she tells strange lies about her daughter, or how her husband seems more broken every day she sees him. She starts to imagine what it would be like to live in Nina's life. The walk-in closet, the perfect husband, the fancy car. She tries on one of her dresses only one time, but soon she finds out that her attic bedroom actually has only one lock and it's on the outside. So the whole vibe of this one sounds right up my alley, a creepy lock situation happening, a weird family dynamic, and I'm really intrigued by this one. I'll Be You by Janelle Brown is also coming out on the 26th. Sam and Ellie are identical twins, and they actually became B-list celebrities when they were children. As adults, though, they've become estranged and gone down totally different paths. Ellie left acting and reinvented herself. As the perfect homemaker, she's married to a real estate agent and she lives in a perfect home. Sam never recovered from her failed Hollywood career, though, and is still addicted to pills and booze. Sam hasn't spoken to her sister in years, but her father calls one day out of the blue and informs her that Ellie's life has now been in turmoil. Her husband moved out and she has adopted a 2-year-old girl. Now Ellie isn't answering any of her calls and actually checked into a mysterious spa. Sam works to try to investigate what's really going on, and she realizes that the bond between her and her sister is much stranger than what it seemed at first. One of Us is Dead by Jeneva Rose is coming out on the 26th. Once again, I love the cover of this one. Meet the woman of Buckhead, a place of expensive cars, huge houses, and competitive friendships. Shannon was once the queen bee of Buckhead, but she's been unceremoniously dumped by Bryce, her politician husband. When Bryce replaces her with a much younger woman, Shannon sets out to take revenge. Crystal has stepped into Shannon's old shoes. A young, innocent Texan girl, she simply has no idea what she's up against. Olivia has waited years to take Shannon's crown as the unofficial queen of Buckhead. Finally, her moment has come, but to take her rightful place, she will need to use every backstabbing, manipulative, underhand trick in the book. Jenny owns Glow, the most exclusive salon in town. Jenny knows all of her clients' secrets and darkest desires, but will she ever tell? Who amongst these women will be clever enough to survive Buckhead, and who will wind up dead? They say that friendships can be complex, but no one said it could ever be this deadly. So I love a good revenge book. It seems like it's going to be full of drama, and that sounds so fun to read. Alright, so those are all the releases that I'm the most excited for this month. Let me know in the comments which one sounds the most interesting to you, or if you've already read some of the ones that have already come out. And I will talk to you all very, very soon. Bye.